Have you ever spoken English with perfect grammar, but the other person still looks at you as though they cannot understand what you are saying? It's frustrating. It feels like you've hit a wall. But here's something that many teachers don't make clear enough. Native speakers don't actually listen for grammar. We listen for something else, even if we don't realize we're doing it. And if you are missing that, your level doesn't really matter. Most learners, understandably, think being understood means choosing the right word. But we don't really listen word by word, strangely enough. I've spoken about this before, but English is a stress-timed language, and therefore it is predictable. And so, rather than listening to the individual words, we listen for patterns, rhythm, stress, intonation. Let's take this analogy. Imagine English is a melody. If I play all the correct notes, but every note has the same volume, the same timing. There are no rises, drops. There's nowhere that it speeds up or slows down. Every note is the same length. It might be correct technically in terms of it has the right notes, but it is much harder to recognize the tune. And that is exactly what happens when English sounds careful, correct, but flat. As I've said before, native speakers tend to be quite lazy. And so, if we are listening to something and there's the choice between effort and ease, we will choose ease each time. I'll show you what I mean. Let's test this. Listen to this first sentence. I would like to ask you if it is possible to reschedule the meeting. Yes, yes. Every word of that sentence is correct, but to our brains, it's quite an effort to listen to. The listener is processing every single word separately. Now, listen to the second sentence. Is it possible to move the meeting? Is it possible to move the meeting? I would like to ask you if it is possible to reschedule the meeting. Is it possible to move the meeting? It is simpler than the first sentence, yes, but more importantly, it behaves the way English expects to behave. The words that carry the most meaning stand out, move, meeting, but the rest of the words get out the way, because predictable English is fluent English. We are going to go over the 3 invisible problems that often affect those who are learning English as a foreign language. And I have created a free PDF outlining the content of today's lesson. Link is in the description below. So, if people often misunderstand you, it's usually because of one of these problems. The first one is misplaced stress. Might be, for example, stressing the polite, more grammatical words instead of the true meaning words. I will show you what I mean. So, for example, let's take this sentence. I would like to ask if you could help me. I would like if you could help me. A native speaker is listening for this. I'd like to ask if you could help me. I'd like to ask if you could help me. When the stress lands on would, if, or could, the listener has to work harder to find the point. Therefore, it sounds careful but unclear, just because of where the stress has fallen in the sentence. Here's another example. Can you please tell me where the station is? You stress please because you are trying to sound polite, but a native speaker expects the stress here. Can you please tell me where the station is? So, in native English, stress signals information, not politeness. So make sure you are stressing the important words, the words with the meaning, rather than just the polite ones. The second invisible problem is that there is no reduction. And by that, I mean you pronounce every word fully. Native speakers don't do that. Again, I will show you what I mean. You might say, I want to go and see her. But a native speaker would reduce certain sounds. I want to go and see her. I want to go and see her. I want to go see her. To becomes t, and becomes n. I want to go and see her. I want to go and see her. I want to go and see her. Again, those small words shrink so that the important words stand out. In this case, want, go, and see. And so, if, on the other hand, you pronounce everything clearly and fully, paradoxically, it sounds less natural, not more natural. And it is harder for a native speaker to process. And the final invisible problem is flat intonation. Your voice stays on one level, so the listener cannot tell what is important in your sentence. You might say, for example, I can meet you tomorrow morning. I found that really hard to say because it's so unnatural. But someone who is learning English might say that flat. No rise, no fall, and no emphasis. I can meet you tomorrow morning. So the listener doesn't know, is tomorrow the important part? Is morning the correction? Are you agreeing or hesitating? A native speaker would naturally shape it. I can meet you tomorrow morning, as in not today. I can meet you tomorrow morning, meaning not the afternoon. I can meet you tomorrow morning, which is offering reassurance. So with that sentence, I can meet you tomorrow morning, they are the same words, but with a different message, purely from the intonation. And we don't get that if we don't have any intonation, if the words are delivered flatly. When every word sounds equally important, nothing sounds important. This is why native speakers might finish your sentence, for example, or simplify their English. They're not being rude. Their brain is just trying to catch the melody of what you are saying. So here is the shift that changes everything. Stop aiming for perfect clarity in every word. Start aiming for predictable English. If you alter those 3 things we addressed, misplaced stress, no reduction, and flat intonation, it will, I promise you, transform your English. And to help, I have a fluency booster. Details are in the description below, as is your free PDF outlining the content of today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe. If you found this useful, you might find this video useful where I look at linking sounds in English, or this video when I talk about how intonation can change the meaning of what you're saying. Have a wonderful rest of your day or evening wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.